Well, there are new talking points for the pro-Israel influencers. It is now Israel doesn't need your money. Israel should stop accepting it. The pro-Zionists are saying, yes, we should end foreign aid to Israel. That's a little bit confusing, given the fact that the last 3 years we've been sold this propaganda that Israel is our greatest ally. We get a lot from it. We get a lot of intelligence from them.
Right.
There are bulwark in the Middle East, so therefore that's why it's good for us to send billions there, so we get so much in return. So we should be skeptical when paid influencers begin saying the same thing. We learned this during the war in Ukraine. We've seen this all along from Israel. So now let's sort of just go through what we've been sold for the last, let's say, 3 years. First, it was October 7th. Israel has a right to defend itself. Then it was we get a lot from the military aid we send to Israel, American jobs, we get intelligence, we have an ally in the region. Israel essentially acts as our aircraft carrier for all the battles we want to wage in the Middle East. Then it was the Bible. The Bible tells us we have to do that. Now, most recently, the line was, who cares about Israel? I'm an America only. I don't care. Let them fight it out. That is an ignorant take and disingenuous because we paid for that genocide. That's a theft. Any war we wage is a theft from the working class. So you can't just say, I don't care, and expect to be taken seriously. Here's the new talking point. Yeah, you know what? You're right. This is, foreign aid to Israel should end. And that feels very disarming because it's like fighting with your husband when you're really going and you're, launching your bangers. You don't take out the trash. You don't help me. I'm busy with the kids. And then your husband's like, yeah, you're right. I'll do better. Let's have a hug. And you're like, wait a minute. What? That's what I just said. That's what I wanted. So are they disarming us on purpose?
But then we can be clear. You keep going. Even after there's an apology, then it's...
Yeah, I can't...
But I just want to circle back around and just point out that I'm not done. I just want to keep going. I just want to keep going. I just want to keep going. Yeah, but I've already apologized. And we already... Yeah, but I just want to keep going.
You're right. I'm sorry.
We've seen it live.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go with this. I think that this is...
Marriage.
Somehow... And, maybe it's a way to call me anti-Semitic because they're saying, we agreed with you, but you still think that because you're anti-Semitic that we have an angle. You don't believe us because you're anti-Semitic. Well, I don't believe them because I've looked at the math. But let's look at some examples of how this new talking point's being rolled out, and then we'll look and see if we believe them. Here is Netanyahu today saying exactly this.
It's on the Axios news site, and it says, Scoop. Israel seeks 20-year military aid deal with US with America first tweaks. Is that correct?
I don't know what they're talking about. My direction is the exact opposite. When I first became prime minister in 1996, I went to the U.S. Congress and we were receiving financial aid and military aid. And I said, the first thing is, we're going to build a high-tech, free market capitalist economy. We don't need the financial aid. Phase it out. And everybody gasped. How dare he, this young prime minister, eager for a PR title. He's giving up billions of dollars. And I was happy to do it, and I was right to do it. So we got rid of that. Now I want to make our arms industry independent, totally as independent as possible. So my direction is the exact opposite. I don't know who's talking for Israel. I do. So follow what I say, not what is put forward in some leaks that are not true.
So, Prime Minister, you think it's time to cut military aid entirely from the U.S.?
I think it's time to assure that Israel is independent. Understand that our military aid is like a fraction, a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of what the U.S. spent in Afghanistan or spent in, in the Middle East. It's tiny. But, I think that we have a very strong economy, we have a very strong arms industry, and it's true that even though we get what we get, which we appreciate, 80% of that is spent in the United States. So it produces jobs in the United States. But nevertheless, I'd like to see a much more independent Israeli, and even more independent Israeli defense industry. And remember that Israel doesn't ask others to fight for us. Israel is the one American ally in the world that says, we need boots on the ground. We don't need American servicemen fighting, on the ground for Israel or around Israel. We're fine.
I guess he thinks we forgot that we bombed Iran for them.
Well, and also that young prime minister, wasn't he in Congress in 1996 asking us to help with Iraq?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes, he was explaining to us, and then he was also warning us about Libya, and he was telling us about how Iran is about to, create a nuclear weapon, and they're going to attack the West. They were telling us that for decades, as Pat Buchanan reminded Sean Hannity back when this was being said. He's been saying this for 20 years. But also, yes, Iraq, of course, pushing us into war with Iraq. But now, suddenly, we don't need you anymore? So you guys have heard of the bearskin hoodie, right? It's my favorite hoodie. It's the one I'm wearing right now with the removable patches on the side. This thing is built like a tank. This thing is incredibly warm when I walk the dog. It just turned really cold. We got a big cold front that came down from Wyoming. So it's a perfect season to wear your hoodie. And bearskin makes these fantastic hoodies that are built like a tank with 340 GSM microfleece, 10 pockets, a clean, rugged fit that looks awesome. And right now is the best time to grab it because you get 60% off. Right now, they're running a deal for our viewers, 60% off. This is a perfect gift for the upcoming holidays. And this thing looks awesome. It feels great. It zips right into the heavy rainstorm jacket also. So if you're out, it's going to pour down rain, you slide the shell right over the top of it, and the Velcro, just perfect. It just works. It's 100% waterproof when you need it. So if it turns wet, cold, windy, you're not scrambling last minute. You'll get free U.S. shipping, fast delivery, and you've locked in your winter gear already. That's a win-win. So do yourself a favor right now. Text the word redacted to 36912 to lock in 60% off. Again, text the word redacted to 36912. You'll get a link sent straight to your phone so you can check it later if you're busy right now. Oh, and one more thing I should mention. When you support Bearskin, you're also supporting the Fallen Outdoors and the Hope for the Warriors Veterans Program. So you're not just buying some great gear for yourself, you're actually backing a cause that matters as well. So don't wait till you're freezing to realize that your hoodie sucks. Get a Bearskin right now while it's 60% off. Text the word redacted to 36912.
Here is Laura Loomer warming us up for this message. She says, I've been in the region. After being here, I feel Israel must end its dependence on aid. It's been great, guys. It's been fun. We don't need it. Here she said it again today. Netanyahu is absolutely right. We need to cut off all aid to Israel. It's going to be really great.
But she says no more Israel needs to be sovereign. No more golden handcuffs from the United States. She said, this is what I said when I returned from Israel this week. So the golden handcuffs thing made me laugh because to me, golden handcuffs mean that you are in a great position. Like let's say you work for a company. It's just been an incredible run.
You're like a real housewife of New Jersey.
Actually, I looked at it this way. So back when I worked at Fox in Los Angeles many, many years ago, there was a young producer that was working there. And she said, why would you want to go off and be a reporter and go off away from here? She said, it's like golden handcuffs. She's like, you make great money, but you're kind of locked in here. And that's the way I always look at it. Like you're sort of being oppressed in a way because you're just sort of locked in. You can't go off and do your own thing. Mm-hmm. And so what she's basically saying is that we have somehow held them back. We've held them back from...
What did we stop them from doing?
From realizing what? We've literally facilitated every freaking war that you've asked us to facilitate. We took out and decapitated the leadership in Libya, which is now a hellhole. We've done the same thing in Iraq and Afghanistan. And anything else you want us to do? You want to play us...
We installed ISIS in Syria?
We played along with your plans to create and fund Hamas. I mean, we've done everything. What else have we done? Oh, I know. We literally went along with your plan to bomb one of our own ships, the USS Liberty. So we've done everything you've asked us to do.
Well, maybe this is a clue. Can we put that first Loomer tweet up when she says, I think we must end our independence, and I felt this way after being along the Syrian border. Is it because Israel wants Syria? And she's like, well, we can't have this. The United States probably won't allow it. But they want Syria?
That's what I tweeted at the time because we would get in the way of this Greater Israel project, right? The Greater Israel project.
No, we wouldn't. We would let them do whatever.
No, I mean, I don't know. You hear Trump saying that like a few weeks ago, like absolutely we're not going to allow them to annex the West Bank.
You believe that?
No, I like to believe. I'm a glass half full kind of person. I mean, even J.D. Vance was like, absolutely not, full stop.
Okay.
Like, all right. I know, but I mean.
Name one thing we've stopped them from doing because it was morally wrong. Raping Palestinians? No, we let them do that.
No.
Waging war on our own people? We let them do that. I'm leaving out the more out there.
9/11?
No, that's,
Complete control of Congress? No. save a few. Thomas Massey otherwise. So yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay.
I mean, you have to be an idiot to not understand that.
And honey, you are not an idiot. Okay. Here is a video that went viral overnight, and I'm warning you, it is just so cloying and obnoxious and patronizing. It's an Israeli influencer speaking to the Groypers, the Nick Fuentes fans, and saying you should stop blaming the Jews because the Jews are oppressed just like you. In fact, we were the first to be oppressed. You don't see we should be allies. She says that stopping aid to Israel won't do anything because there's other government corruption, which is fair, but it would at least stop us from, waging wars in Libya, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, all the places we just named. Anyway, listen to her lecture. See what you think.
They think you're too stupid to actually do the math. Stop falling for it. If you want to see who's getting the money that could sponsor a new industrial policy, we're not the droids you're looking for. There is a whole universe of subsidies and unfair regulations and just other nakedly irrational, heartless policies holding back the kind of unifying and populist economic policy that I know you want. So if foreign aid to Israel were stopped, which I think it should be, that money would just go straight into increasing what those other more powerful lobbies get.
Okay.
She's so, this girl, I'm curious, this girl just kind of came out of nowhere in the past few weeks. It's like she's been elevated suddenly. I'm always curious about the algorithm and how this thing works. Like, who are these people, these pro-Israeli voices that suddenly get amplified and they're pushed out there? Reading her bio, she's like, I've been on Fox News. I'm a Fox News person. So you know exactly what this establishment news people are. And, again, these are the worst of the worst. She's on the same talking points now. So I'm curious, where all the same talk, literally 4 weeks ago, it was the opposite. Our funding of Israel gives us a lot in return. They're our greatest ally. And of course, John Mearsheimer in his great book, The Israel Lobby, you should read it if you want to educate yourself. And he makes the point there is zero benefit. There's zero. In fact, it's detrimental to the United States to support Israel to do whatever.
She talks about the John Mearsheimer book. Okay, you've read The Israel Lobby. It's not real. So, then in her sort of, cloying, pedantic, she's trying to relate to young men who are pissed that they're being stolen from by the federal government that cares more about foreign wars than their future. And she's like, not us. Don't blame us.
Well,
we're
she
the same.
She needs to take those Star Wars references out of her mouth.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
You got to get Will Smith up there to smack it out of her mouth.
Also, I think it's super weird that in this same, this is my hope for you. I'm not really afraid for you. She says, I'm afraid for you because bad things are in your future. I'm not afraid for us because Jews always survive. My people have been through worse. We don't care, really. We're oppressed, but we're not. We can take it, basically. This is my most sincere
video I've ever made.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm sitting,
diatribe for you, but then take a look here. Also, here's my lip gloss.
By the way, if you're curious about what lip gloss I'm wearing, here's my lip gloss. This is the way. So yeah, this is my most impassioned video. I'm going to sit in front of a darkened wall with just one light on me. And by the way, she's reading a script. You can clearly see that she's reading a script.
Well, it's on her Substack. You can read it along with you if you want. Yeah. Anyway. So anyway, okay, so again, these are the talk. We've established that we're going to start hearing this, that, I'm with you. Israel should cut off aid. I don't think that we can take it seriously. Number one, the White House hasn't said, great, we'll stop the checks tomorrow. Nothing, right? And is it even possible for Israel to continue on these terms? I think most of us would have thought that if we stop aid to Israel, it would take some really punk rock politician that we don't have or a total implosion of our system. Could it be just like this? Okay, we'll walk away. Well, according to most military experts, Israel has depleted most of their weapons stock. So they can't just leave it there unprotected. I don't think that they're willing to do that. But maybe Israel's looking for a new baby daddy. Maybe they have one. Any guesses who might be willing to take that title? Baby daddy of Israel? Anybody? Any guesses? Who?
I'm sorry. Baby daddy of Israel.
Randy Fine?
No, a country. It has to be a country.
India.
Yes.
Well, Randy Fine kind of is a country, but.
Okay. Yes. So did you know that according to reports, India is now supplying Israel with about $200 million in arms per year? And take a look at that trajectory. It is increasing every year with a crescendo in 2023 in the wake of October 7th. Now, $200 million, that sounds like a lot. It's really not, though, compared to what the U.S. sends, according to a Quincy Institute study that calculated U.S. aid to Israel only through September 2025, since the start of the October 7th war. No, we're sending billions. So India can send their cute little millions, but our total is in the billions. 33 billion. So when any Israeli official floats the idea that they can pivot away from the U.S. to other partners like India, that's fantasy. India is a friendly buyer, occasionally a supplier, not a strategic substitute. No country on earth is delivering what the U.S. delivers in volume, speed, logistics, intelligence, or precision ammunitions than the United States. So can Israel realistically just say, okay, we'll stop now? Great, that's fine. You don't like it? No, this seems like a ploy to speak to what they call the woke right, get them on the back foot and say, we're white, we agree with you. And then what? They're speaking to the American public, which is demanding a breakup. They're not really going to do it. So what? What do you think? Like, what is the game here? What are they playing at, as the English would say? Let me know what you think.